Hello everybody, my name's Pat. Welcome to our video series for 54403. I'll be making many of these videos. Most of them will come along with a task that you can do. Today we're getting ready for studio and we're going to go on a bit of a shopping mission. Here's our shopping list. There's a bunch of stuff we need. Weird stuff. I wonder what weird stuff is. But the first thing we're going to focus on is our art supplies. Would you like to come with me on a bit of an adventure around the neighbourhood where our uni's on a search for all the things we need? Obviously, there's an idiot with a hat and a pair of headphones outside the UTS tower. We're going to zip on down the street, past the cheese grater building, and across Wattle Street. Try not to die. And then we're going to go to... Oh, hang on. I've got to show you something. This place, Malacca Straits, oh my God. You've got to go there for lunch. It's really good. It's really good. No, but hang on. We're on a mission. We're getting art supplies. Let's not get distracted. Here we go. Oh, actually, hang on. This place. The Black Grudel. That's where you get the good falafel. Please go there and get falafel. Please get the garlic sauce. Don't get the garlic sauce before coming into class with me. But no, right, here we go. We're on track. Cadmium art supplies. This is the shop where you go to get the good art supplies. There's a bunch of different art supply stores, but that's the closest one to uni. So why don't we have a quick look at the things that I got from Cadmium Art Supplies store. First of all, I know that we're going to be doing a lot of drawing, and we're going to be drawing a lot out in the field. So really what we need is pencils. For studio, I recommend we get nice, soft drawing pencils. I've got a 9B, I've got a 6B, I've got a HB. These are just good quality graphite. Okay, I've also got some colored pencils, also very good for drafting, particularly if you want to, maybe do some planning before working with a brush and ink or something like that. And I have a brush, a medium range brush, medium expense brush. I think it cost about $3 or $4. I've got a little palette. Should cost about 50 cents, maybe $2 or something, to mix things out in the field. And I've got a couple of Winsor & Newton watercolors. If you're buying watercolors, please just get the good stuff and start with a small amount. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on paint, but it is nice to get started with watercolors, and it is nice to get started with the good quality stuff. And the last thing that you can get at art supply stores like Cadmium is one of these, which is a sketchbook. This one's mine. This one's called a Sketchio. I bought it from Levers in Wollongong, but so one of these is really useful to have around. Although most of the drawing we're going to be doing out in the field will be on A3 paper on a kind of clipboard like this. Okay, let's go back to our shopping list. The next thing we need is, we've got our art supplies. The next thing we need is some technology. Maybe we need a Wacom tablet, maybe we need a hard drive, or maybe we're really going to lash out and get a computer or something. Or maybe just like put in a pre-order on Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, I don't know. So we leave Cadmium, which is, and just across the road is Broadway Shopping Centre, which is a bit of a hellhole really. But up on level 3, you'll find JB Hi-Fi, where all the cool kids work. And at JB Hi-Fi, they've got all sorts of tech gear, and you probably can put in an order for Breath of the Wild 2. Okay, we've got some art supplies, but what about a bit more stationery? And we're probably going to need a scanner. I needed a scanner, so I was pretty excited to go on this next little part of our adventure. So we went from JB Hi-Fi, and we just kind of went round the corner a little bit, off to off down Broadway, past Sydney Uni. Just cross over Glebe Point Road. Maybe stop for a cuppa. There it is, Glebe Point Road. And just a bit further down, you will find yourself at the beautiful blue building, Officeworks. Every nerd's second favorite place where they have all the good stationery, A3 paper, A3 colored paper, scanners. That's what I bought. I bought that scanner, and these A3 clipboards. Get one of those. And these A2 folders are really good too. And they also have light boxes, which, useful. And they have some mediocre brush pens, which you might like, but I'm going to show you where to go to get a brush pen. Okay, at Officeworks, I got this. I got a very nice Staedtler eraser, definitely useful for out in the field. This guy, the best pencil sharpener ever. I bought, this is my favorite pen, an Artline Medium 0.6. Look, you don't have to buy exactly what I buy. I buy the stuff that I know I like. But this one is a great pen. The only problem with this pen is it's not watertight. If you paint wet media on afterwards, you end up with a big mess. But this one, the Uniball I, is waterproof. So you can draw on paper and then paint on it afterwards with watercolor or ink or something like that, and it will stay water fast. So that's why one of the reasons I got that one. So that's a pretty good little kit for drawing out in the field, and it's not too big, not too heavy. You're not carrying 1,000 different pieces. But there's one thing that is a bit of a specialty item that we don't have yet, and that will be our next stop. I also bought a scanner at Officeworks, by the way. You will all certainly need to use some kind of document scanner as part of this particular subject. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about $2 shops. On this trip I went past Daiso, and I just wanted, and it reminded me that we need to talk about $2 shops. For the love of God, please don't buy everything at the $2 shop. Don't go to the $2 shop. Don't go to the toy shop. But also, don't spend all this money that you don't have to spend. I know that this stuff's expensive. If you can wait to buy it, wait. If there's something else you can use for the next few months, like a secondhand Wacom tablet or a secondhand scanner, then just use it. And if it doesn't work, then maybe go buy something further on down the track. But if you are concerned about money, UTS has all sorts of financial support for anyone who needs a bit of extra cash during this really expensive time. I went to Daiso and I bought this, which is just some Japanese drawing ink. That's a pretty good, one of the few good quality things that you can buy at these sort of bargain stores. But never buy paint or colored pencils at a bargain store, because they're going to be junk. They're going to do your practice damage. Okay, what's next? Books and brush pens. I went on my journey from Officeworks down on the border of Glebe and Annandale to over the hill back towards UTS there, and I decided, okay, I'm probably a little bit sick of walking. It's a hot day. I've got a heavy scanner over my shoulder, so why don't we get on the bus? I really recommend that you sort of don't just get off the train, come to uni, get back on the train and go back to your neighbourhood. really spend some time in town and get to know the place. There's some really beautiful parts of the city that are around UTS. And particularly if you head out Redfern, Newtown Way, there's all sorts of great stuff. But I got on the bus on the light rail. I got off at the QVB. What a beautiful sandstone building. And I went across the road to the shopping centre, which is called the Galleries Victoria. Or just the Galleries. Head up there, past the Gorman, past the Muji. Not Muji. Is it called Muji? Oh, I've forgotten. To Kinnikunnya Books. The place where all the great comics live. Also, art and design books. That one, Ramesh, in the bottom corner. Oh my God, it's amazing. But here's what we're really here for. Brush pens. Kinnikunnya has the good Japanese brush pens. This is where I come to buy obscure stationery. Also, if you wanted to just drop a $230 on the Junji Ito collection, that's fine. Or if you wanted to drop a paltry $35 on a Australian graphic novel, you could also do that as well. So what did we get at Kinnikunnya for our field drawing kit? Here's what I got. I got a brush pen that just holds water. That's useful for working with watercolor, but also they're relatively cheap and you can fill them full of your own ink. Finn McCabe, the art god, who is also your teacher, often uses these. But I also got a couple of brush pens. I got a grey one and a black one. These are fantastic. They're a little bit expensive, but they last quite a while, and they have a beautiful line, as you can see. That line's a bit dry, but these are great entry level brush tools to get you used to working with a brush tip, and perhaps working with dry brush techniques as a part of your shading practice. I like having a grey one or a lighter coloured one at the same time to do three-dimensional shapes. Particularly useful when you're drawing things like landscapes or maybe people out in the field. Okay, so we've got our books and our brush pens. What about our two set texts for this subject? Well, there are two books that you're going to need to get hold of before the end of semester. Where are they? They are the Richard Williams Animated Survival Kit, which you'll be using for your 2D context class, and Sand Talk by Tyson Yunkaporta. The Sand Talk, I'd like you to get in audiobook because we're going to use it as part of a drawing exercise. You don't need to get the Sand Talk book right away. You've got about 6 weeks to get your hands on that. This is probably a pretty good opportunity to get us thinking about the library. An amazing resource that I like not enough students use. Let's look up the Animated Survival Kit. Okay, it looks like they've got 2 hard copies of the book, which you could go get off the shelf right now. And they've also got a video collection, which is the Animated Survival Kit, as a film. I've seen that on the wall. It's actually quite a big bunch of VHS videos. So you could go get that right now. You could also get the Sand Talk on audiobook, and maybe you could rip it and save the MP3s or something like that. So all of that stuff's in the library if you want it, and I've also circulated a PDF of the Richard Williams book as well. Although we do recommend you get the hard copy because you're going to have it on your desk for years and years and years. It's an essential text for animators. Okay, the final thing on our list is Zoo Pass. I like to think of the Zoo Pass as though it's like a textbook. Animators do their research out in the field drawing, and one of the number one places that animators do their research is at the zoo. So I'll just really quickly pull up our web browser again, and you can have a look. You can get your zoo pass online here. So you could go do that now. You should do that as quickly as you can because we are going to the zoo in week 2. It'll be on the Thursday class in week 2. So that is the last thing on our list. Have I got anything else to tell you? No, I'll be making more of these videos, so there'll be more things to talk about. Hopefully in the next video, we'll be able to get some drawing done. Other than that, I will see you in the lecture on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Oh, I forgot, I have one more thing to show you. It is a little bit... It's not really about our shopping list, is it? It's about your intake of MSG, which you will 100% need to get through those long days of drawing. Let's turn this off. If we continue on our adventure, you'll see that we head out of Kinnikunnya and we go down the alleyway. And did you know that there was like this really creepy old comic book store in Sydney? Yeah. It used to be. It's empty now. The people there were so awful. And Anthony Lister put his name on the place too. Well, that makes it even worse, doesn't it? Okay. So it's really important to me that you guys hang out together, that you guys get to know each other as quickly as possible. And the best possible way is via the consumption of delicious, thick, brown ramen. So please go here. Gamashara Ramen. Oh, I've got the name wrong. It's in Eating World Food Court. It's amazing. But there's also another place that was really special to me when I was studying at UTS way back in the early noughties, which we used to call just the dumpling place or the place with the cheap dumplings. And here it is underneath the escalator, Chinese noodle restaurant, and numerous offshoot restaurants nearby that sell very similar food, probably made in the same kitchen. But when you go there, get the dumplings, of course, but get this eggplant thing. You will not be able to eat it on your own. You will have to take at least 3 friends to get through this amazing oily dish. And then we are back in the goods line, heading past the paper bag building, past the ABC, and we're back at UTS, back out the back of Building 6. So that's been our shopping adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. Please just make sure you go out for dumplings. That's all. That's what I'm going to finish the video with. Dumplings.